welcome to Mildly Spiraling. I'm your host, Tracy. Happy to have you here. Hello, and welcome to season 3 of Mildly Spiraling. I'm your host, Tracy. Happy to have you here. Welcome to season 3, y'all. We're back. We're back, baby. You know what? I think I took a month and a half, 2 months off. It absolutely flew by. I think 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh my God, season 3 is starting very, very soon. And I always just like in my head, I go, oh my God, I have nothing to talk about. I have no loves, I have no hates. Even though I'm literally hating on things every day and I'm just talking shit. But of course I have things to talk about. It's kind of like when you go on a first date and you're like, is there anything interesting about me? Is there anything, like, do I have anything to talk about? Like, what if I just forget to talk? Thankfully I have not had to do that in a very long time. It's kind of thrilling too, though. Like, that's probably why I like doing the podcast. I kind of like was a psycho and like I would kick and scream and like be like, I am not going on this date. Like even before my first date with Patrick, my now husband, I sat on the floor of the kitchen in the house that I shared. And I just was like, I'm not going. And I was like, I have my arms crossed and I was like kicking my feet. Like I was like, I am not going. And so I would literally be dragged out the door by my roommate or whatever. Shout out to Allison. And she was like, go, like you need to go, like just go. And usually it was fine. And I would just have a couple drinks and I was good to go. And honestly, even sober me, I am ready to chat. I think like what I do shut down around though, and I've realized this about myself as I've gotten older, and I never had a word for it, but I shut down completely around energy vampires. Like if you can just like tell they're not listening to what you're saying, like I feel like I pick up on that immediately, and I am just like don't want to be part of the conversation anymore. And I feel like I used to have a lot of energy vampires in my life, not naming names. I don't even think like, and of course, like I still meet energy vampires. I have energy vampires in my life, but like, I will shut down. I'll kind of go like into it just in my inner self. And I'm like, I don't even want to, if like someone's not listening to me, I'm like, I don't even want to participate in this. Like, what's the point, right? Like, I just think like a conversation should be two people talking. It should not be one person talking and one person listening. Because what the fuck are we even doing if oh my God, I've already gotten on a rant. See, I do have things to talk about. I've already gotten on a rant and we're literally 3 minutes into season 3. 3 minutes in to season 3, episode 1. You all, oh my gosh. So here we go. Let's see. The last 2 months, honestly, have flown by. So if you remember, if you tuned in to the season finale of season 2, you'll know I talked about something that was really scary. My dog my dog Lavender had a seizure. The vet really like did all of these tests on her, didn't know how it could have happened. Really, I think it's really difficult, like if a dog has one seizure, to know why. So she like cleared her. We traveled to Georgia, about a week later after that episode, after that seizure, after the season finale, we traveled to Georgia to visit my mom. While we were in Georgia, I guess they have some kind of like super flea there. And so even though both of my dogs are on a flea, tick, heartworm medication, they both got fleas. and it was hell trying to get rid of them. But Savannah, my younger dog, who also is a senior, she's 9 now, got it really horrible flea bites on her stomach and like kind of had an allergic reaction to them. So we brought her to the vet. While we're at the vet, she had a episode basically where she passed out, a syncope episode. And we called the vet in and she like took her heart rate when it was happening. It seemed fine. She was like, you should bring her to the neurologist when you go with Lavender, because Lavender had an appointment at the neurologist when we got back to New York. So we're there for 2 weeks. This kind of happened midway through, but literally Lavender had a seizure. 3 weeks later, Savannah had this syncope episode. So it was kind of like my fucking hell, honestly. And it has been my just 3 months of me crying, and not 3 months, but like 2 months of me crying, being fucking hysterical over this. Like, it's just been an absolute nightmare. Like, they are my babies. Like, I've had them their whole lives. Like, I've had Lavender for 16 years and I've had Savannah for 9 years. And yeah, they're literally everything to me. And so, and if you see me looking to the right, it's because I have my computer over here and I'm just like, did I miss something? But we got back to New York. Lavender had her appointment with a neurologist. Didn't really think it was actually a seizure. The jury's still out on it, honestly. I do not know. 100%, right? Like, so she said it could have been a stroke. So we make an appointment with the cardiologist. Savannah sees our regular vet as soon as we get back here. She checks her out. Everything seems fine. She says potentially she could have an irregular heartbeat, but it's not so irregular that they would have picked it up on like an EKG that they had done on her in the past. So we make an appointment for both of them to see the cardiologist. The cardiologist was able to absolutely confirm that what happened to Savannah was a cardiac event and not a neurologic event. I don't know why sometimes I'm like, how do you say this word? It was not a neurologic event. It was a cardiac event. So we know that for sure. The reason we still don't 100% know, which is very stressful. So like we think it was, the vet thinks it could have been from overheating or stress. Like, it happened when we were at the vet, so I definitely think it could be stressed. It's actually the third time it's happened, and they've all been really spread out. So like one when she was a puppy, basically, and then the second time it happened 2 years ago. So anyway, that's kind of like what the vet thinks, though. If it happens again, because they took her blood pressure, it was fine. They did an EKG, heartbeat seemed regular. They did an echo, and they did an echo and an echo and an EKG and blood pressure on both girls. So for Savannah, if it happens again, they will do a Holter monitor, which basically she would wear for like a couple of days or week or whatever, and monitor her heart rate constantly to see if she has another episode when it's happening, and then they can confirm that it was absolutely the irregular heartbeat and not maybe just like getting overheated or stressed. And then Lavender, we still don't know. It could have been a stroke, so that is like also just an FYI. If you didn't know, that's how my dad died. He died of complications from a stroke. So it's always just like very triggering for me to even talk about it. But like that could be what happened. And really they cleared her to have an MRI, but there's such a risk with having an MRI on a super senior dog, 16-year-old, because going under general anesthesia, there's always a risk. Now, I go under general anesthesia every 2 months for my egg retrieval, so we are going to move on to that, and let's talk about what's going on with that. So, I said after my last failed embryo transfer, or I think, what was I said I was going to say, call it something else. Not failed, or like, oh my God, I'm blanking. But it wasn't like, it's because it's not a failure, right? Like, my last embryo transfer that didn't stick, that was unsuccessful. Oh yeah, I think unsuccessful is better. Um, that basically, well, that was in May. And then, so June, July, it just started August. So, I basically was like, when that failed, that frozen embryo transfer, and that was my fourth embryo that failed, I was like, I just want a fucking cocktail and a cigarette. I did have a cigarette. I ended up buying a pack of cigarettes. I have had a handful of cigarettes this summer. I hope it doesn't completely fuck over my egg retrievals. And if my egg retrievals aren't as good as my other ones, I am not going to blame it on having like half a dozen cigarettes over 2 months. Like, that would be wild. But I will say, the nurse, like one of the nurses left me a message on Friday because I started my estrogen patches literally this morning. I started them this morning. And my nurse called me last night to remind me that I was like starting the estrogen patches, and she left a message, and she was like, "Oh, we saw you filled out the new form with like the instructions of what you're going to do. Just like please call us back if anything has changed, like you started any new medications or you started smoking." It's like, oh shit. I feel like they're spying on me or something. Like, how do they know? And then I was like, oh my God, do you think I need to tell them that I've had 6 cigarettes? Like, I feel like it's more of like, did you start, like, do you now have a habit of smoking that you didn't have before? I don't know. I don't think I need to tell them, but I'm like a little paranoid about it. I don't need to be though, right? Like, it's not big. I don't think it's a big deal to have 6 cigarettes in the span of 2 months. Like, um, I heard this thing the other day, which is very funny to me. And I think this is how I identify that I'm a smoker in Europe. Like, that's been my personality this summer. Crying and being a smoker in Europe is like my current personality. And also, that was like my summer personality. It's been my a vibe. But I did not go to Europe this summer. I've been in New York and I was in Georgia, but I am still a European smoker slash crier. It feels right. Like, it feels like that's me to a T. Oh my gosh. So the flea saga sucked. Yeah, getting into, so I started the estrogen this morning. I literally put the patch on. 30 minutes later, I was like sitting on the sofa, but I was like, oh my God, I feel nauseous, hot, like I'm having a hot flash. I feel nauseous, and I have I can feel a headache coming. Like, I could just feel it coming. Like, you know, when you feel like a headache, it's like starting to come, and then boop, you fully get a headache. I just felt it coming, and I was just like, the shit that we go through with these fucking hormones is absolutely crazy. Like, I am choosing to, no, I'm not, well, I can't have I can't have children if I don't do this, so it's like not really a choice, but like, I am doing this thing where you're putting, you don't, like, people don't realize that, like, just even as a normal person, going through life, going through perimenopause, going through menopause, every month getting your period, ovulating, your hormones are doing these things. Of course, you can have mood changes, and now I see it in real time when I put an estrogen patch on, and 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, mood shift completely. I feel like nauseous. Like, all I want to do is lay down with a pillow over my head, right? Like, it's kind of crazy when you are like, when you actually know, like, you can say for sure I know it is the hormones because I literally just put this sticker on my stomach. But like, when you're going through life and you don't have those little stickers on your stomach where you can say, oh, that's why I don't feel well, you're like, people don't believe you. And it's like, believe women, believe people that are going through this. Like, trust me, I know now it fucking sucks. And yeah, so started the patches this morning. We are going into an egg retrieval in August. The plan is to make embryos. We're doing PGTA testing for the first time, freeze them. And this is really to know if I'm capable of creating plastocysts. No, I can create a blastocyst. I guess they're called well, anyway, I'm blanking because I'm tired. I'm blanking. A euploid, yeah, a euploid. I see if I can create those, and that's basically a normal embryo. So let's see. Let's make sure my embryos are normal after the PGT testing, because if none of them are, it could give some answers into why the other four that didn't have the PGT testing didn't stick. And so we're gonna do that, and then September break, kind of, but because I'll start estrogen patching and at the end of September probably. And then October doing another retrieval, freezing all of those, PGT testing again. And then my insurance doesn't cover any more egg retrievals, and we will see. I mean, the hope is that I hope that I have more than one normal frozen embryo that we can transfer. I hope like there's 2 or 3. I'll take one, but I hope there is one. I hope there's 2. But I would absolutely love to have one chance at least. And we'll do those transfers most likely in 2027, because I am going to try and travel after these 2 egg retrievals, and have some fun and do some things like travel a little bit, and just not worry about when the next egg retrieval is going to be. Obviously, that's like a whole different story. So if I don't get any embryos, like then it's a conversation that Patrick and I have, like, where do we go from here? Because I will be out of egg retrievals. And to be totally honest, like taking that out of it, I think you start going, when you've been through this for a couple of years, you're like, for me, I'm like, do I want to keep doing this? I think that's a thing I'll think about a little bit more in November. I'm kind of right now, like, I have my plan, which is so honestly so nice, like to have this plan. So I'll have this plan at least through October. My birthday's at the end of October. I'm hoping my egg retrieval is not on my birthday. But I will be eating a lot of cake after, regardless if it is or isn't. And so, yeah, and that's what I'm kind of set through October. I know my schedule. And then we'll see. And we'll go from there. And yeah, so that's the plan right now. Talk about it on here. We'll update you. I'll update you on how my stims are going and everything like that once I start. So definitely stay tuned if you're here for that. I'll chat. I'll be talking about it. If you're not here for that, oh my god, I've like actually really good at segues today, and I didn't even plan these. Like, I'm just going, and so if you're not here for that, I'm gonna get into my loves and highlights. I have a lot of love. So one thing I've been totally geeking out over is the Merlin Bird app. I think I have potentially maybe mentioned on here before, but most people that have the Merlin Bird app are over 65. But I am an OG Merlin Bird app user. I think I've had it for like 4 years now. Like, I've had maybe longer actually. Maybe I've had it for like 5 or 6 years actually. I think I've had it for a long time. And I am such a Merlin Bird app user. And I love going to different places and hearing the different birds. So like, it's really fun. Like, when I was in Georgia, that's what I would do every single morning at 7 in the morning. I would take a walk, and I would just turn my Merlin Bird app on for the first like 20 minutes of the walk. And I would literally get like, because I'll screenshot and I'll save it, and then I'll be like, this is where I heard these birds, this is where I heard these birds, this is what time it was, and I screenshot it and I put it in like a little folder. And so I am geeking out. And so I would literally like have 2 pages worth of all of the different birds I heard. And there was such a difference. Like if I went at 7 a.m., which was always my goal, but like I'm not always gonna meet that goal. So like sometimes I would go out at 7:30, and if I went at 7:30, I would hear totally different birds, or like not totally different birds, but sometimes different birds. I would only get like 1 page of birds, but if it went out 30 minutes earlier, I get 2 pages of birds. I'm talking eastern kingbirds, painted buntings, green herons, egrets, spoonbills, always Carolina chickadees, one of my favorites, wrens. And then here in New York, I always get the same ones, really. Mourning doves, M-O-U, doves, mourning doves, morning. I used to think it was morning, like they only come out in the morning, but it's M-O-U doves. It's morning doves. Like, oh, I didn't realize, because they sound like they're mourning when they're calling. Anyway, so we always get mourning doves. Obviously, there's pigeons around, but I actually never pick them up. I'm curious to pick them up. Pigeons aren't really loud. It's interesting. Actually, I'm gonna look up pigeon sounds. I've never done that. I'm gonna look that up. I don't know. I don't really ever. I see them like doing more like physical stuff like than calling. But anyway, I did this like because I see them like bullying other ones like if they're trying to like get food or whatever. So if you're watching the video, I did this like swagger kind of thing. But anyway, blue jays, cardinals, house sparrows. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I got a mockingbird once where it was like I was like I hear a car alarm, but I know it's not a car alarm, and I was like that's a mockingbird, and I turned my Merlin bird app on, and I was like clocked it. It's a freaking mockingbird. So anyway, that's what I geek out on. I highly recommend the app. I wish that you could have like friends on the app and like see what they were hearing. That would be really cool. That's a recommendation that I have for the Merlin Bird app. Honestly, if you're listening and you work at Merlin Bird app, please do that. All right, so this is kind of like why did I write this as a love and highlight? This is a highlight for me is that I went off the deep end with smoking and I threw away the pack today. I had 6 cigarettes in the span of 2 months, so I don't really know why I'm said I went off the deep end in my notes. Anyway, and it's also not a love and highlight, it's just something. If people don't know, I used to smoke cigarettes in college. I smoked Parliaments because obviously I did, because that was very cool. And then, no, did I say high school? College, I smoked Parliaments. Grad school, and a little beyond into my mid-20s, I smoked Marlboro Lights, and I quit smoking, I think, like at 27, but I was never like a heavy smoker, and by the end I was only having like one a day at night because I was just like, it was a ritual thing more than anything, and now I don't. Okay, this is superficial. Actually, these are both superficial, but who cares? I said I wanted to dye my hair auburn. I did. You can't really see in the video, but I went to my girl Mackenzie in Georgia, and I mean, my hair's getting so long also, but I got like auburn, and I feel like it really is showing more, especially in the light, than when I got it done before here, because I literally, she did it, and I couldn't see any red in it. So I did that. Exciting. I'm also want to say, so 2 things I'm loving is I kind of like have switched some skincare things, and I really am loving the Dew Instant Angel moisturizer. So that's like, and then I switched blush, and I've been wanting to try this blush for a while, and it's the Violette FR Plume Blush. I got, I think it's like the caramely color, and I have it on now if you're watching, and so it's really like subtle. It almost feels more like a bronzer, but it doesn't have any like glitter in it or anything. And I'm really obsessed with it, and I want to get another color, like the Rose Flume one, I think is really pretty. So I'm thinking of doing that. The But there's just those things, like just doing like skincare and like makeup and stuff has brought me some joy lately, and it has been much needed because it has been rough out there, y'all. And I'm gonna be honest, I have some spirals. Um, I will say I really think I talked about it up top, but like just with my dogs both being seniors, super senior, senior, there's this thing I think like I'm trying to really put, I don't know that this is the right word, but I'm calling it pre-grief, where you are like grieving someone because you know your time is limited with them. And I feel like I have this like pre-grief, and like yesterday I was just laying on the floor with Lavender crying, and I was like, I don't want her to see me cry, but like I also just wanted to pet her. Because like just knowing your time is limited is so hard, and I think both of these, like obviously I have a 16-year-old dog. Like I feel very very lucky. But like being that old and everything I already knew, but then these two episodes and everything that happened just made it so, like it compounded this pre-grief that I was having, and so I've been struggling with it a lot, and really crying, and it's been really hard for me, because I just cannot imagine my life without either of them, honestly. So I'm spiraling over this pre-grief, but I'm also enjoying like every single moment that I have with them. Um, okay, I don't know if you can see it if you're watching the video, but I have been. This happens in the summer. I get a summer pimp. I get a summer pimple. I have one here and I have one here, so I have two at the moment. And honestly, I don't know what this is on my forehead, but like, look, you can see it on the camera. Why am I leaning into the microphone into the thing for you to see my pimps? I don't want you to see my pimps, but I am spiraling over a summer pimp because having a pimple literally will ruin my fucking day, my week, whatever. Yeah. So not crazy in the scheme of things, but I don't know. This is a big one, and so I'm only really gonna just say I am in a fucking spiral over AI. AI, people with AI psychosis, and I am also just spiraling over the inhumanity of it. And I don't want to get into it. I don't really want to get into it right now because I've cried about it for hours this week, and honestly, that's a theme. I feel like I've been crying a lot, but this is pre-estrogen. I've been crying a lot, so we'll see what happens on these estrogen patches. I feel like it's gonna get real weird. But yeah, and with that, like mediocre successful people, because when I think about it, I'm like the most successful people sometimes like are just probably the most mediocre people. I'm like, let's be real. You know what? Okay. Ending on a high note, I am spiraling over growing out my bangs. I do this. I think episode 1, season 1, I said I want to get bangs. I got bangs. Why? And I'm gonna do it again. And I know this winter I'm gonna say I want bangs. I'm gonna get bangs, and then I'm gonna bitch about it over the summer when I'm trying to grow them out. Because that's just how it is, right? I always go through these cycles, but it is such a pain in the ass to grow them out. There was a few years where I didn't have them, and I just like think in the winter time because you're wearing coats so much, and like all you see is this like very, unless you're even, and then when you're wearing a high, you don't even see it, but when you can have these cute little bangs sticking out. And so that's why I like want to have bangs. I want these cute little bangs sticking out. But then I'm like, no, I don't need these cute little bangs sticking out, because then in the summer they just curly cue up and I look like I have a mullet and it doesn't look good. So if I mention it again, please email me and tell me that I should not get bangs. Say, Tracy, you already went through this. Like, you don't look good in them. And tell me that straight up so you don't look good when you have bangs. And I won't get them, promise. Okay, I wanted to tell you, I made a huge mistake. I got an email at the end of season 2 and I did not read it. So we're getting to the emails. If you want to be featured on Mildly Spiraling, please email me mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com. That's mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com. Send me what you're loving. Send me what you're hating. Send me if you want to just vent about IVF, if you want to vent about hormones, if you want to vent about AI, if you want to vent about dinosaurs being extinct, if you want to vent about your boss, if you want to vent about pillow culture, if you want to vent about literally anything, if you want to tell me that bangs look good on me, if you want to tell me bangs look bad on me, email me, mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com. I promise I'll read it on the air. Or if you don't want me to, I won't. But I got an email from a listener. Here we go. They've got one love, their love. Older people, so 50s plus is what they said. I don't really know if I think 50s plus is older people wearing weed-related shirts. I see this. I think it's like, I feel like it's a Willie Nelson type thing. I think it's kind of cool. I love it too. I like that one. Spiral, people's attitudes at the airport. Yeah, people, you know what? People turn the worst version of themselves at the airport, but you also then, you know, the good ones at the airport too. The good ones, like, and the majority are good. It's just that the bad ones are really fucking bad, and then they ruin it for everyone. Like, I have been mad about a flight being canceled or the way I've been treated or whatever. But, like, honestly, there's so little they can do for you. That I also, like, sometimes I'm like, just, like, email, ask for points, ask for a refund. But yeah, and also, don't take your fucking shoes off on the airplane. Unless you have like the socks that they give you or you have your own socks, but don't take like a full shoe off and just have your stinkers out. Also, I saw a man I saw a man who went to, we have like this little like plaza near us where there's like benches and like you can sit at tables or whatever, and a lot of people eat and drink coffee out there or like smoke weed or whatever. Some man was there just clipping his fucking toenails. I've also been on a subway car where someone was clipping their toenails and I moved to another car, but there was a man that just went, he literally looked like he had just gone to the square to clip his toenails, so the clippings were not in his house and they were just outside. It was very weird. It was very weird. I have a thing. I really don't like, I have like a thing again. I don't like hair. Even if it's mine, like I don't like it like around. And I also don't like if I see someone's like fingernail around. Like I just don't like it. Anyway, woo, this email, that spiral sent me into a spiral that you didn't even email about, which was cutting your nails in public. That's a spiral that I didn't even know I was going to talk about. All right, this has been episode 1, season 3. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh my God, season 3 is going to be so fun because you are going to be along with me for the fucking ride, right? You're going to be along with me for my last few months of being a 38-year-old woman in this fucking misogynistic world. And you are going to be with me while I go through my last 2, hopefully, egg retrievals. I won't say definitely, hopefully, retrievals. So come along, join me. Thank you so much for listening. All right, love you. Bye. That's my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing. I'm wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. I'm on all of them. You can subscribe and like the episodes on YouTube, Mildly Spiraling Podcast. I always really appreciate a rating on Spotify or Apple. It helps me so much. I promise I won't even see who it is that's rated me. I'm also on Instagram at Mildly Spiraling Pod. I'm on TikTok at Mildly Spiraling Pod. Come and join me, and you can be featured on the podcast. Email me at mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com. Email me your loves, email me your spirals, and I will read them on the email. Just let me know if you want to be anonymous in the email. Otherwise, I'll say your name. But all right. Thank you so much for listening. Love you. Bye.